we faked being staff at a music festival to get backstage. A couple weekends ago, I go work the Railbird Music Festival down in Lexington, Kentucky with my brother and some of his buddies. My brother and his buddies found this great gig with like a contracted company that goes in and does all the setup and takedown for these music festivals. They travel all over the United States, all over the world actually, to go take down and set up for different festivals. And it was really cool. You get paid to set up and take down, and then you get a free wristband to the festival. So you basically get paid to go to the festival. It's an awesome gig. And this is my first time ever going to a music festival. But the advantage is you are setting up the entire place. So you know all the ins and outs of every section and area that is at the festival. So even though we only had a basic staff wristband, we knew where all the artists were going to be set up. We knew the entire layout of the property. So, and it's really, I mean, a music festival is really cool, but Railbird's awesome because it's a country music festival. So the first day was Saturday, and we went in, and my brother said, you know, you could probably get backstage, but just don't be too risky on Saturday because Sunday's the better artist lineup. So on Saturday, I waited till like the third or fourth show, and I'm like, I got to try to get backstage. So I go over to this entrance because they have fencing all over, and the staff and back entrance area is basically like the outside of the festival. The festival's all in the middle, and then all the setup and trailers and stuff are all on the outside. So I go up to this medical entrance, and I'm in an American flag polo and a backwards hat. Like, I don't even look like I should be doing anything staff related. But I walk up to this lady, and I'm like, hey, I got to get in the back. Because usually you just try to walk by, right? Like, try to walk by with confidence. So that's my first move. I try to walk by real confidently. And this lady stops me. Hey, are you medic entrance? I was like, nah, but I got to move from front row over to the stage. And she was like, oh, okay. And just go. Because that's the thing. It's like, it's such a big, chaotic place that, like, you can get around pretty easily. So I wanted to go see Cody Jinks because he was the only one I really knew on Saturday at Railbird. So I get to the Cody Jinks stage. But when you get close to the stage, it's where it's locked down, right? Like, there's cops everywhere and all kinds of security people and stuff. So I was like, I'm not going to be able to get backstage, like, on the stage. But maybe I can sneak around and see if somewhere else I can go. So as I sneak around to the front, there's this VIP section, and then there's the actual stage, right? So there's all this fencing put up, and I'm inside the fence. So I'm right in front. It's like stage, me, and then all the crowd and stuff. So as I peek out from behind the corner, this guy sees me. He's like, hey, what are you doing here? And I was like, they told me to come help you. And again, American flag polo, jeans, boots, and a belt buckle. Like, I don't look like I'm supposed to be working at all. He's like, oh, awesome, man. We've been waiting for you. So I literally just started laughing. He hands me like this container of all these water bottles, and he's like, just start throwing them out to the crowd. So I actually got to like hype up the crowd during Cody Jinks' show and throw out all these free waters because every artist is like sponsored by some type of water or random drink or something like that. So I'm chucking all these box waters out to people. And after that, I was in there for 2 or 3 songs, and finally they were like, who are you with? Like, you just have a staff wristband? Like, who are you supposed to be with? I was like, I'm just an extra set of hands here to help. And then it kicked me out, and I went back into the normal crowd. So that was the first night. The second day was Sunday. We get there in the middle of Treaty Oak, which is one of the headliners, and they have this huge stage. It's called Limestone. There had to be 40,000 people minimum out of this stage. And they have all these sections. It's like pathways through this massive crowd where they have fences up to go to VIP seating for people who have VIP wristbands, or if it's an artist's family member or a cameraman that have all their media passes and stuff. Like, you got to have like 4 or 5 passes to get into these areas. But my brother and his buddies are all just good bullshitters, you know, and I like to think that I gave my brother some of those bullshitting abilities. So I see my brother at one point, no joke, we're watching the Jumbotron in front of Treaty Oak stage, and I see my brother and his buddy just like at a glimpse, you just see him walk by. And I'm like, what? Because my brother will do that. Like, we're in a big group, and he's like drifted off to go God knows where. So when I try to call him, he's like, I'll call you back. I'm sneaking backstage. We're like, yeah, okay, sure. But then we see him up on the main stage just walking across right in front of it. And then he ended up walking down. This was the only place I was afraid to go in the entire thing. They had like, it's like a lane of just, it's like 6 to 8 foot metal fences on both sides. And it's just a lane just for artists and their families and cameramen. My brother's walking down that. He said it was the most nervous he ever was, but he's like some staff member just got confused and pointed him the wrong way. And he, you're faking already, so you just have to do what they say and act like you know what you're doing. So he walked back. So when I saw that, I'm like, fuck this, dude. I'm not sitting out here in the crowd all day. I'm going to go try to get into some places I'm not supposed to be. So I walk up to this lady sitting at another entrance into the fence to get backstage for everything. And I scan my wristband. It turns red, and she's just not paying attention, and I dive in real quick. So I get in the back, and I'm by the main stage and artist trailers and shit. And I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I know the setup. I think I know where most of the artists would be. So I was thinking about starting to explore. And then some people started looking at me kind of funny. I'm like, oh, shit. And there's a lot of cops and shit back there. So I was like, fuck. So I duck out to this VIP, like, beer garden section. Well, while I'm back there, I run into one of my brother's buddies who had done the Railbird setup before. Hey, like, you want to start sneaking around trying to get into stuff? He's like, yeah, let's do it. So no joke, we take off our concert T-shirts. We both had wife beaters on. We have like wife beaters, jeans, and backwards hats, and we tucked our shirts in our back pockets. So at that point, we kind of looked like staff members. And when we go back over to Limestone, these two absolute smoke shows we just happened to make contact with, and they're like, oh, are you guys coming up here? We're like, yeah, we're coming up on stage. So we get up on stage during the Treaty Oak show. They give us like some waters and stuff, and all the employees, like all the stagehands and back of house staff had all these, different waters and stuff they provide for them in these big coolers. So once we had the waters, we literally blended in, right? So we're up on the stage at Limestone. Talking to people. We're over by all these awesome guitars and stuff. And again, to watch from the stage, to get to watch a crowd of like 40 to 60,000 people, like it's just such a cool experience. And you get to see like kind of from the artist's viewpoint. So it was just cool to see that. And while we're up there, this dude comes over. It's like one of the managers. He's got like a clipboard and notebook and stuff. And he's like, oh, are you guys helping? Are you guys next for audio check? And we're like, no. So after that, a couple people started to notice us. And we kind of slowly just drifted off. Well, we end up back over by the artist trailers. And while we're back there, we start looking around, and we're in the VIP of VIP section, right? Bar back there under this tent. All the people are super dressed up and shit, and we don't fit in at all. And I remember my brother's buddy looking at me and being like, you think we're good back here? Like, you think someone's going to notice us? And I start looking around. I see this kid, and I'm like, you know what, man? If they let that guy back here, we're definitely good. Like, we're blending just fine. Well, the kid that I point at turns around. It's another one of my brother's friends. And he's like, oh, what's up, guys? And he comes over. I'm like, shit. So I'm thinking, like, first of all, I got to calm myself down. Plus, I want these guys to feel like, hey, confident. Like, we can sneak wherever we need to sneak today. So I'm like, I'm going to go get us a drink. So I go up to the VIP bar, and she's like, oh, this is an old lady bartender. She's like, damn, you're in a wife beater in VIP. I like your style. And I was like, oh, my God. I'm like, yeah, it's hot out here. I don't really care what I look like. I'm here for a good time, that type of shit. So we start bullshitting back and forth. I ask if she has any rum and coke. She's like, no rum and coke, but I can do a tequila soda. I'm like, fuck it, I'll do a tequila soda. I'm thinking these drinks are going to be, because out in the general admission area, a beatbox was like $30. So when I ask for 3 tequila sodas, I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, this is going to be like a $200 tab, right? $27 for 3 drinks. I'm like, I need to be in VIP everywhere you go, which I guess makes sense, right? If you pay 3 times more for a wristband than a general admission ticket, I'm sure that's why. But in my head, I was like, I was not expecting $27 drinks. $27, $9 per tequila soda. Like, that's fairly reasonable. And she gave us a heavy fucking pour, like half and half. And we had already been drinking the whole time. So we're drinking these tequila sodas. We're in the artist trailer area. So we're hanging out, seeing artists coming in and out of their trailer. Like, oh, dude, this is fucking sick. Treaty Oak show gets done. And I'm like, we had furnished all the trailers. Like, we did all the setup for this entire fucking event. So I'm like, let's go over to the headline trailers and see if we can, meet some people, because it was the night Jelly Roll was supposed to be there and stuff. And it's like, regardless of what you think of the artist, like, to go meet somebody that big, it would be cool. So we go over, and again, feeling the tequila soda is probably a little too much. And I was confident after we had started to sneak around a little bit. So we go back in there, and there's this old bald dude sitting on this couch, right? And as soon as we walk into there, because how it works is like the trailers are in like a square setup, and then they have a general tent in the middle for artists to like come out and hang out and drink, smoke, whatever they're doing. So we walk into that GA tent, and as soon as we get there, it's only this guy and us. And he's immediately like, what are you guys doing back here? Who are you? And I go, again, just feeling my drinks too much. I'm like, who are you? We're here to move a couch. And he immediately is like, I'm Jelly Roll's manager, and there's no couch that needs to be moved over here. And he immediately like taps this dude who runs over to these security people. And I'm literally like, I didn't know what to say. And I'm just go, oh, is Jelly Roll here yet? And he's immediately like, okay, who the fuck are you? Like, starts all that. I'm like, never mind, we're in the wrong spot. So we take off real quick. No joke. As soon as we like get out of the headliner area and duck around, because it's all these like 6 to 8 foot fences set up everywhere. It kind of feels like almost like a camp, like a military camp setup, right? It's all these little squared off areas and there's walking paths and stuff. So we duck out of there, duck in between this fencing and this trailer, and you see 2 Lexington cops go by, and they're going right to where we were. And I was like, oh, shit. And I remember my brother's buddies just being like, got like eyes like saucer. They're like, oh, you really? I was like, I know, I fucked up. That was my bad, guys. Like, I fucked up on that one. Let's just keep going here. Let's see what we can do. So we cut over to kind of the outside, because it's at Red Mile, which is a horse track. So there's a huge horse track on the perimeter, and there's all these RVs and trailers parked around there. So we cut out of there, kind of try to get away from the artist section, try to find like more of like a low key, less monitored spot. We get out towards the track, and no joke, we see this big ass RV and these guys talking, and we start looking, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, is that Treaty Oak? And they're like, yeah, it's Treaty Oak. Let's go. So we walk past 3 security tents. They just, for some reason, didn't look at us. And I'm like, I swear to you, that's like 90% of things in life. Fake it till you make it, right? Like, we walk as confident as we can. We get past, not only do we get past these 2 security tents, we get past the Treaty Oak security team because they're setting up real VIPs for autographs and photos. We walk right past them, go right up to the lead singer. We're like, hey, what's up, man? And he literally is like, hang on, guys, I'm on a FaceTime call with my wife. So we were totally not supposed to be back there. We're totally out of line. And we're like, oh, sorry. We just want to grab a quick photo. So we end up getting a photo with the lead singer for Treaty Oak, and then we dip. No security caught us, no nothing, and we go on to our next adventure, right? So we cut through a couple VIP beer gardens. We end up over at this other stage, it's like a secondary stage called Elkhorn, by the time this band called Sacred Souls is finishing up. So when we walk up, I'm like, oh my God, the ramp that they're moving equipment and bands up and down is open. And I'm like, let's go. So me and 2 of my brother's buddies, we run up there, and we're on stage. We're on stage at Elkhorn. And I'm like, let's just start helping. This be a helping set of hands and see what happens. So we go up, and immediately one of the like managers of the stage area is like, what are you guys doing? We're like, we're just auxiliary staff. We're here. We got called over to help move equipment. He's like, nice. Just starts handing us stuff. And you know how it is. Like, it's a big group of like 20, 30 people. So we just start making our way up. And again, we don't look the part at all. We're in like random T-shirts and jeans and boots and shit. The staff members and stagehands are in all black. And we just do not fit the vibe. We all got mustaches and our cowboy boots and shit. Like, we look like we're partying. And that was the best part. It's like, the dude literally is like, it's funny that you guys are staff, because like, you guys look like you would just be attending the concert. We're like, yeah, we didn't know there was a dress code. We were just auxiliary staff on call. Like, we're actually here enjoying the concert. We were just on call in case anyone needs us. So like the biggest load of bullshit to get up on stage. But Sacred Souls gets done. And while we're helping move equipment, we start looking. I didn't even know who he was until the day. But this guy named Gavin Adcock, who apparently is like big time social media artist, right? Like, he's got a ton of followers on social media, got really big that way. He's up there drinking Miller Lite with his crew and stuff. They're gonna let us know. And they're talking, and I'm like, holy shit! All my brothers' buddies like, oh, that's Gavin so and so. I was like, I don't even know who Gavin Adcock was until this very moment. But fuck it, let's hang out with him and try to get a photo and stuff. So we cut over there, introduce ourselves.
Yeah. So you have to be huge.
Pleasure meeting you, man. Good luck tonight.
Nice to meet you too, man.
We're moving stuff around, and then this chick walks over. Dude, this chick was an absolute smoke show, and she's got a 24-pack of Miller Lite. So again, we're trying to blend in. Like, we said hello, grabbed a quick photo with Gavin. And then as we start moving stuff around, just drinking water, get done packing up equipment, we're waiting. There's like a 15-minute intermission in between shows, right? 15 to 30 for them to move all the equipment. So once we helped pack up all Sacred Soul stuff, we're just up there chilling. I'm drinking like this seltzer water thing. I accidentally knock it off stage, and it makes a super loud clinging sound and stuff. And again, we're back of stage, but it makes a super loud noise because it hits all this metal equipment that's down below the stage and stuff. And everyone starts looking at me. I'm like, oh, shit. And then this absolute smoke show walks over, and she's like, "Oh, did you have a beer? Because I don't look like I'm staff, right?" And I'm like, "Oh, no, it was a water, but I'd love a beer." So she starts giving me Miller Lights. She starts giving me Miller Lights, and I'm talking to her. I'm like, "Oh my God, this chick's beautiful."
Like, who just gave you that?
Gavin Adcock's girl. Well, like, no joke, like, after like 5 or 10 minutes of talking to her, Gavin Adcock literally yells, he's like, "Hey, Lee, how much Miller Lite are you giving him?" And I'm like, "Oh, shit. I'm about to get exposed again." So this chick's name is like Haley something. She's Gavin's girlfriend. Gorgeous chick. And that's why I was talking to her, because I don't know that they were dating. And he wasn't like mad at her, like yelling. She was being too nice, right? Like she was giving me a bunch of Miller Lights. So I ended up drinking backstage where I'm supposed to be a stagehand working. And I'm back there crushing Miller Lights, talking to Gavin Adcock's girl. It was fucking hilarious. And the best part about it is, by the time we get to his performance, we end up faking being stagehands. We are pushing the drummer, like they have these huge mobile stages on wheels. So we are helping the staff push these guys onto stage. And then, no joke, and I'll put it in the film. We are on stage for Gavin Adcock's performance. So we are with like VIP of all VIP access, and we're just standing over there watching the concert on stage. Amazing. Amazing experience. And that's just a warm-up of the whole thing. One of my brother's buddies, he had snuck in and was looking for us. He ends up sneaking on stage and saying that one of his buddies was our boss and called him up or whatever. So he bullshits his way on. He's in like a white Kentucky Derby t-shirt, right? Like we were at least in like gray or black to kind of blend in. These other two kids with this absolutely hilarious. One's in like a pinstripe button up and the other one's in a white and pink Kentucky Derby shirt. So you can just tell that like we're not supposed to be back there. But I don't know if they were just so busy they didn't have time to address it or they just didn't care, but like they were just totally chill with us. And honestly, Gavin Adcock's performance was probably my favorite because to get to see an artist like that who, up and coming name, right, as far as I'm aware, but he's backstage like drinking to just get loose and like settle his nerves and stuff, and you hear him talking to his team and stuff. It was just really cool to see. And they were actually really cool. They did a really cool little prayer before they went out on stage and stuff. So I got to say shout out to Gavin Adcock. It was a really good show, and it was probably one of my favorites too. Not even just because we snuck backstage, but he was one of my favorites to watch, kind of warm up and go through the process. Because I think everybody looks at those people like celebrities, and you do for sure, right? Like they've made a great name for themselves, and they're super successful in their careers. But like to see someone like that getting nervous before performances, even though they've done it hundreds of times, it was really cool to see that side of it. And like I said, super down to earth. Like they were letting us drink beer with them, and they were just chilling, talking about all their different tours and stuff. And again, they thought we were staff, but to have those type of conversations and just kind of hear the backside of the music industry, man, that was really cool. And the headliner of that night is Riley Green, who's a pretty big name in country music. So that was our whole goal. We wanted to meet Riley Green by the end of the day. So Gavin's show gets done. We're literally helping move equipment. Like I said, it was one thing just to be standing up there walking around, but by the end of this, we're talking to the bass drummer. We're picking up guitars. We basically loaded up Gavin Adcock's entire trailer. Like with his team of people. And at one point, it was so funny because there were so many times that we almost exposed ourselves. Like when I knocked that water down, it was so loud. I felt like, and again, you're not supposed to be back there, so it's probably amplified. But there was like every fucking person in the book is looking at us. And again, Riley Green's a headliner, so there's like an hour to kill between Riley Green's show and the end of Gavin Adcock's show. They start cutting down on staff, like rather quickly. Like they're cutting guys loose 5 or 10 at a time. And I'm like, oh my God, we're not going to be able to blend in much longer. At one point, my buddy looks right at the like manager of the one of the production managers who's helping move stuff off the stage. He looks right at this dude and they say, "Is that case full? Let's get it down there." This kid's like halfway down the ramp to Gavin Adcock's trailer and someone's like, "Hey, he's walking with an empty case. There's no guitar in there." We're like, we just acted like he was being an idiot, right? We're like, hey, get back up here. Like, acting like we know what we're doing. Nobody has a fucking clue. We think we're making progress. They start bringing up, this other group of people starts bringing up Riley Green's stuff. They've got a couple forklifts. They're moving these big things. We had pushed a stage back out. So at this point, we think we're home free. We're like, okay, like they've cut down on staff. We're still on stage. No problem. We got about 30 minutes until Riley Green goes on. And we saw Riley Green's manager show up. He was like this grumpy old bald dude. And you can tell that he's just hunting for people like us because he's kicking people out left and right. If you're not on this list, he's walking around the clipboard. If you're not on the list, it's a closed stage. You can't be here. You can't be here. And I'm like, okay, we just got to keep killing time. So we floated over stage right, stage left. We float over to stage left. And at that point, we're all kind of huddled up in the corner. And I'm like, okay, I do not like this. I do not like this. Like, we do not look like we're supposed to be here. And I start looking around. I'm like, I need a better way to blend in. Because I had a black hat, but I didn't have a black. I had a gray shirt on, right? So I'm looking. I see this hoodie. This old, nasty, like dusty hoodie up on one of the stacks of audio stuff. It's a Jelly Roll hoodie. So I snag this shit, throw it on, and suddenly I'm in all black in jeans. So I look just like all the other staff members, and I'm feeling very confident about this opportunity that I have to stay, because my goal was to stay there for the Riley Green concert. So all my brother's buddies are afraid to walk across the front of stage because, it's like I said, there's like 40, 50,000 people at each area. So I'm like, looking. I'm like, this is one of those things, like, I just want my brother to experience this with me because he had snuck around earlier in the day, but then his girlfriend got there and he was just hanging out in the crowd, having a normal experience. So I call him, and I'm like, hey, where you at? He's like, I'm in front of Elkhorn watching Riley Green. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm backstage right now. And I'm like, I'm literally on the phone with my brother. I'm like, watch this. I'm going to walk across stage. I'm in a black Jelly Roll hoodie. So I walk across Elkhorn, and as I walk across, I like kind of wave to the crowd, and he's like, oh my God, I see you. I'm like trying not to laugh on stage. I'm like, I know, dude, we are going to definitely get kicked out at some point. So I had to prove it to you. You know what I mean? And he's sitting there saying him and a couple of his buddies saw me. And we were just laughing our asses off about the fact that, like, because, like, again, it'd be one thing just to sneak back there and act like you're VIP, but we just acted like we were stagehands because it felt like the best place to blend in. So we probably handled like close to $500,000 worth of like music equipment and shit that we should not have been touching. But we actually were helpful to them because, like I said, they think that we're these auxiliary stagehands that got called up by some sort of management, and they were totally cool with it. And like I said, whether they knew or not, I think the reason we were able to stay up there as long as we did is we were actually being helpful to them. And next thing you know, we're 15 minutes out from Riley Green's performance. And then all of a sudden you see Riley Green walk up there. And we're like, holy shit. And they had started putting up even more temporary fencing around Elkhorn's stage and kicking people out. So we're like, it's like Survivor. Like, we're like, all right, we're in the final 10, baby. Like, we got a chance here. Because I think with the bigger artists, they all have their own like team of people versus just like a contracted group of staff crew. Riley Green walks into backstage up the ramp. And I'm like, what's up, man? And he's got this group of people out there all looking at me like, who the fuck is this kid? So I get a little nervous because like his head management leader, dude, he's kicking people out left and right, asking people for credentials and names. And I'm like, oh my God. There's a gap in the fence back there because they have this gravel area where they're literally taking a forklift and they're picking stuff up and putting it on stage. It's like these big equipment speakers. I guess they're different for every show or they have a rotation of them in case one goes out. I don't know. But there's like 5 guys in black T-shirts that jump down there and they're picking up this huge box speaker to put on a forklift. So right as Riley Green's manager starts coming over towards us and starting to kick people out, I jump down there and I help pick up this big box speaker. And I stand with all these old dudes that had been there all day. And they're looking at me, and I'm just like, what's up, guys? I come down here to give you a hand, and they're totally cool with it. I help pick up this speaker. He walks by, and then we come back up on the forklift. So I'm like, oh, my God, I think I'm going to make it. And now we're within, like, 5 minutes to go into a Riley Green show. And they just are still, this guy's just like a hawk. He's just circling, just kicking people out. I'm like, oh, my God, I don't know if we're going to make it. He gets back there, and it's literally just Riley Green, the manager, his camera team, and my brother's 3 buddies. So he looks right at him, and he's like, who are you guys here with? And I'm like, oh, my God, what do I do? I start looking around, and I realize Riley Green's media team, with all the, probably for his YouTube channel or whatever, they're all in all black as well. And they have all their cameras and stuff, and I'm like, okay, what do I do? Because I know he's going to notice me, right? Like he's as he starts kicking my brother's buddies out, I just pull my phone out. I act like I'm filming Riley Green behind the other camera guys. And then you hear the announcement, Railbird, Riley Green's coming or whatever. I got to experience the entrance of him going on stage because I just act like I'm filming behind the two camera dudes. Boom, I get inside this temporary fencing. As soon as we got inside, they shut the gate. My brother's buddies are looking at me. And one of my brother's buddies, he's a nice kid, but he's just a yapper. And he looks right at me, and I was like, like, I made it farther, you know what I mean? So it was just fucking hilarious because they get kicked out. I'm right on stage for Riley Green for like the first 3 or 4 songs. Hanging out with the VIP people. And I got to hang out with Gavin Adcock even longer. He's back there crushing a bottle of Jack Daniels. He lets me take a couple pulls of Jack Daniels. I'm talking to him and his girlfriend. And then I got thrown out. So it was really funny. And the best part is when I finally got thrown out, I'm talking to all these I'm literally talking to one of the artists that performed. He's like, so who are you with? I'm like, I'm literally talking to Gavin. I'm like, I'm not supposed to be back here. I was just snuck back here all day. Because at that point, I'm like, dude, I'm taking pulls of Jack Daniels with one of the guys that performed today. I don't give a shit if I get kicked out at this point. So I literally think I made it, right? We're 3 songs into Riley Green's show. I'm right on stage getting to watch all this and just kind of take in the moment. And then here comes Riley Green's manager. Like I said, grumpy old dude with glasses. Who are you with? I'm like, I'm Staff. And he's like, are you Sean? And I'm like, yeah, I'm Sean. And he's like, oh, cool. And then like walks away. I'm like, oh my God, I made it again. Literally like 30 seconds after that, he comes back. He's like, who the fuck are you? Who are you here with? Obviously, he went and met real Sean or something. But he goes, I don't know who you're here with or what you're doing, but you need to get out of here. This is a closed stage. I don't care where you go, but you need to get out of here. So it was actually really funny because after that, I was just like, fuck it. I get kicked off or whatever. So, and the thing is, like, it's even harder to be around the stage. That's where all the cops and actual security people are. So I was just like, dude, I got to be on stage for 5 shows today. I got to meet one of those performers. Like, I'm chilling. I went and snuck into the VIP section for the rest of Riley Green's show and just watched it from there. But, I mean, and that's the other thing is, like, sneaking into VIP didn't feel like shit after being where we were that day. So that was my first time ever going to a music festival. So I got to say that was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had, and just a really good time. I would honestly say to anybody, like, I guess they almost didn't do Railbird this year because they were the city of Lexington or whoever puts it together decided that they were considering not doing it. I would say don't do that. Just continue to do the lineups, man. That was, like I said, as someone who's never been to a music festival, I've been to a few concerts growing up, but first time at a music festival, and it was a country one, and it was one of the coolest things that I've ever experienced. And you can tell it just like it brings out a lot of fun, and it was a really cool crowd, and like I said, just an awesome experience. And apparently the lineup to them wasn't that good, but I thought it was a hell of a time, and I hope they do Railbird every year until the end of time. That was an absolutely awesome experience. I definitely plan on doing it next year. And honestly, for anyone who has a free time, take the opportunity to do that stuff. Like I said, we literally got paid to set up and take down, which really wasn't even like that much work. It's like moving like some light furniture and temporary fencing and stuff around. Like, it was not bad at all. You get a free ticket to the concert, and then you get paid on top of that. Like, take the opportunity to do that, man, if you have the time. Like, what a cool opportunity. So, and like I said, it's one thing to get to do that stuff, but to get to experience it with your brother and people that you kind of grew up with, like, it just makes it that much more meaningful. So, like I said, we got to meet a lot of cool people. I got this Jelly Roll hoodie. Jelly Roll's manager, if you're out there, I know you were doing your job, but you're a fucking douchebag. That was not cool. And then to everybody else, just a really cool experience. Would recommend Railbird or any music festival that you want to go to. Get that crossed off your bucket list. So that's today's episode. We'll be back with more soon. Talks to Tom.
Taking shots by the lake till I can't even breathe no more, see no more. I was riding around town thinking to myself, is it gonna get easier? I'll be up and away up the street getting paid, but I can't even breathe no more. What's it to me? What can I see? Taking shots by the lake till I can't even breathe no more, see no more.
And honestly, the funniest part about it is, at one point,